Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening to you watching me from the other side of YouTube. I know something brings you here today, and I know it's not work. Well, it's my first day on here, but we have a lot to talk about. Well, for now, I can talk and you can listen. Why are we even on YouTube? Aren't we supposed to be working on something? Or go out or play basketball, touch grass, right? Is it wrong that we spend our time the way we do? Today, I'd like to share a little something on how I feel about the world today in general. The first thing, I think we have stopped caring about ourselves and somewhere down the line started caring more about what everyone thinks of us. It's not our fault, really. We are pushed since the day we are born to be successful, to be something, to get that fancy 9 to 5 job, to get that shiny car we drive today, but seldom. Somewhere down the line, we have been taught not to care. It's sad but true. Not to care about anyone but ourselves. We are conditioned that way from young. But what if that's the wrong lesson? Don't talk to strangers. The typical stranger danger. Guard your belongings. Anyone here can be a thief. Another thing, keep your head down. This job's not for you. You're not cut out to do something like this. Something our parents tell us, maybe our friends, maybe in good faith too. That is, work hard. One day, you'll have everything you have ever sacrificed in order to be here. You'll not be actually losing anything. If you're already working somewhere, I believe this is what you hear a lot from your friends or from your seniors who also might wish you well. They say, climb the ladder. Everyone else around you is climbing it too. Here's a hot take from me on this one. I don't think a ladder is supposed to be holding everyone up at the same time. Suppose you have some painters over on your house painting your roof. Can you imagine four people on the same ladder at the same time? No, right? What if I told you people out in the world are trying to be on the same rung of the ladder? How do you know even where to put your feet on? It's like a mantra soaked in us by the time we are in our 20s and 30s. And for the most of us, there is no escape from this. It's like the world itself has painted the world for us as cold and unforgiving. And I don't feel like it should be like this for anyone. I want you to take a moment and ask yourself a little question. Was it always like this? Did the world actually change as you grew up? Or was it actually your perception of the world that kept changing? You know what I'm saying? Like, when we are kids, we don't actually think people are inherently evil. We think everything around us is nice and warm and sunny and green, all the good things. We are not expected to know the risk factor of things in life. You see kids, they crawl on the ground, they eat sand. Obviously, there would be a parent, running around the kid and saying, hey, don't do that. Or maybe some which might join in on the fun and let it do its thing. The kid doesn't know if it's wrong or right for it. It just has fun interacting with the world. I'm rewinding the time here. If I rewind the time, I hope you can see yourself as a little kid. And I hope you can see the kindness you had for people. The kindness which you as a kid offered to anyone who crossed your path. The big, curious eyes, which never shied away from looking high, which never shied away from talking to people. But now, they do. We don't look at people the same way. I'm not even sure if we high five people anymore. In the fear, the sole fear of not getting it back. A smile, the same way. Do we smile to people? It's like a check in our head. Okay, do I really know this guy or girl? Yes. Are they friendly to us? Yes. Are we in talks with them? Yes. Then I'll give him or her a smile. Life shouldn't have to be so conditional. But we have made it that way. Maybe the world has made it for us. But when you were a kid, be it a beggar or a shopkeeper or even a kid your age, you used to smile and expect nothing in return. Is all of this true or is it just for my case? Okay, so here's the thing. If all of this is true for you, don't be sad. It's okay, things change. The world is never on a turnstile. It's never stopping for anyone. It keeps moving. So, if you changed, it wasn't your fault. Even if people say, hey, you have changed. Obviously, you're a person, you'll change, right? Maybe it's not so obvious for you. Maybe you actually feel guilt tripped by the things people say to you. From someone who has mostly had the same experience as you, probably. I'll tell you this. It wasn't you being naive. It was you, as a child, who was offering the unfiltered, most pure form, purest form of human connection. Somewhere along the way, you were taught by your parents, by your siblings, by your teachers, by your seniors, by your friends. Everyone has an influence on you. They taught you to be discoverers, to save yourself. They always taught you your kindness is actually a weakness. It's not working in your favor. That your vulnerability is a risk. And if you continue to be a weakling, you'll actually not make it in this world. Survival of the fittest, remember, from your classes. That's what we have been taught. But then it begs the question, if we were so nice, why did we change? Why did we listen to everyone around us? I think I might have an answer for that. But again, to each their own. Probably you were told the world does not reward good deeds, or things like the karma is not real, that the rat race is the only way you can achieve success. Also, what do I mean by rat race? You are going through the entire school system, anyone around you, everyone's afraid of being homeschooled. Doesn't matter if you're learning the same things, the same rituals, the same values from your parents or also by yourself. It doesn't matter where you got your knowledge from, does it? But someone tells you, hey, you have to pass out from this school. Also, the school matters. It has to have some reputation, some value. It has to be from the finest college from your city. Maybe even go abroad for extra marks, for brownie points. Does it ever end? That's what I refer to when I say rat race. Surely they might be right about the karma thing. Karma is not real. But how is it just okay to follow the crowd? Relax, it's all of us who changed actually. I too am not the same as I was, even 4 years back. That's how much a person can change. I'll say Look around to the greatest inventions around you, like even the chair I'm sitting right now on, the mouse I'm using, the computer we are all staring at, which you are looking through. It's like a looking glass for you. Could we have actually been doing good around these things without these things? Should other people be allowed to influence us? If yes, how do we know if the influence is actually a good one or not? Think about all the movements you studied at school, the movements that changed the world, like the Green Revolution, when Gandhi did the Dandi March. It was to free us and free himself. The LGBT and civil rights movements, they were all fueled by something more than ambition or self interest. If they really wanted it for themselves and solely themselves, I'm not sure if they would have gone that far. I think they went that far because people were depending on them. Thousands of millions of lives were waiting to be freed from the cages. The word you are looking for probably is empathy. It's bigger than kindness. Empathy isn't like we just wake up one day and choose to be kind. We as humans are born with it. We can understand what the other person is going through, and we choose to help them out. It doesn't serve us. Maybe, yeah, some form of happiness we get after helping the guy out. But it's just us, it's just human nature to be kind. So, why are we backing out from being kind? Why are we getting told that don't be kind? That's bad for you. Be ruthless. I don't think that's okay. The other word is audacity. The audacity to believe that even in a world painted such cold blue, your kindness can actually melt all the ice. If Gandhi did not choose to do the Dandi March or the letters he wrote, would we have been free? Even so, after the independence of all these countries, are the people actually living in it free? It's a big question to answer. Are we really free? Or are we actually bound by other things? Just not other countries, right? Why did Babbage invent the computer? He couldn't have been like, hey, I need it, so I'll actually invent one. He died, still we are using it. Everyone has one. Everyone's dying for it. Either for their projects, either for their games. These inventions were not necessary for them to earn a living. They could have done other things than invent things. If you are thinking short term, if you are thinking, okay, I just have to feed myself, my own hungry belly, I'll just do a day job. I'll just do anything to make that happen. If I have some fear of missing out, okay, my neighbor is having a car. He's getting a washing machine. He's getting a dishwasher. He's getting a sofa. Heck, he's even having kids. Why is it a pressure, so much so on us, to keep following their footsteps? Why do we get influenced by our environment so much? And our environment also includes the home we live in, the people we choose to interact with, choose or not choose. The rat race might look like it secures your life, but in reality, does it? Or are you just feeding the fire of your fear? In reality, It is just thriving on your fear of competition, or the fear which has been rooted in you by others' questions, by others' hypotheses. It leaves you jaded. At the end of school, at the end of all this homework, which you could have just done at home, the college, after passing out from which you are left jobless. Heck, you even got a job. But after you are doing the job, suppose you are traveling 2 hours just to get to your job workplace. You're caught in traffic every night, trying to come back home, trying to sleep. Again, to complete the vicious cycle tomorrow. You're questioning the very meaning of success. Just getting a job doesn't end your, I don't know what to say, the things you're lacking, the puzzle piece you're missing. Does it really complete that? Do you ever feel like you're satisfied in life? I don't think so for most people. How am I so sure? Why? And why did I even choose to make this first video of mine on YouTube about the rat race, about kindness, and why it's so important for us to think differently, to question ourselves, and why I'll not be imposing my own views on you and allow you a chance to think. I've tried grinding myself like a grain, just like you, under the wheels of what people call success. When I was in school, when I was in college, I did not know what failure meant. Real failure. For me, failure just stood for, okay, I failed my class. I got some less marks. I did not know what real life was like. That it was just a very little part of life. All I ever saw was straight A's and affirmations, until I obviously continued to get them. If I failed a class, imagine what would have happened. Maybe I would have experienced some kind of failure sooner. But yeah, I had no idea when it was actually the time to step out and live in the real world. All I would do is actually see myself fail terribly at everything. Schooling, college, jobs, they don't teach you life. And you can't just stop at that. After I lived a real life, I realized I was living in a facade. And now I had to learn what it takes to do things on your own and not being schooled by the system in the least. But what if the true prize lies not in the rat race, but elsewhere? I hope you think about it. What if the greatest accomplishment is not how high we climb, but how many hands we actually reach out to on the way up? What if some of us actually step down from that crowded rung of the ladder? Not to allow others to climb up, but to actually climb down and see what's beyond the ladder. What it's like to be a fish out of water. What it's like for land animals. Why did we ever stop questioning? Why did we always take our answers from public, from people we trust? What is even trust? The world does not need more rats. It needs more than just survivors. Survivors of the race, survivors of the fittest. Whatever we have today, be it the shirt I'm wearing, the shampoo I use to cleanse my hair with, the chair I'm sitting, the nice wall I have behind me, I don't think any of these could have been possible if everyone just chose to do a 9 to 5 job. The world needs more than just survivors. It needs dreamers, it needs healers, it needs believers, it needs you. Yes, you. You are a kind soul. That part of you did not change. You are human. So why not choose kindness for yourself too? You can stop being a rat. You can stop and think and start questioning the world around you. The world is so much more than just money, than just desires, than just needs. Give it a thought. I'll have to leave you hanging until the next time we meet. This is Ritz, and Ritz says bye. Bye.